Good morning. So, I am going to share with you a recipe today that I've been using over the past couple weeks because it is a breakfast recipe, and I've been finding the need for some warm comfort food in the morning. It's been really cold, and I just need a warm feeling. And one of the things that I've been also trying to be mindful of is just what I'm putting into my body and how my body is reacting with that. So I have found that instead of oatmeal, I'm eliminating the oats and I've made a substitution with cauliflower. So, as strange as that sounds, it actually has been really good for my stomach. I've had a really easy time to digest it, so I'm not feeling so bloated afterwards. And it just is also, too, I'm feeling very full, and I'm getting a couple extra helpings of vegetables in for the morning, which I like. And it's not such a processed and carb filled breakfast. So I want to show you the recipe really, really easy, because what you also can do is multiply this recipe by, let's say, 2 or 3 times, and you can have your meal prep ready for the week. So I'm going to show you a 1 serving size today, and then what you can do is you can multiply that by 2 or 3 and have 2 or 3 breakfasts set up for the week. So it's a really simple recipe. Really simple ingredients. So the first thing that you're going to need is cauliflower rice. So I prefer to purchase mine ahead of time. It's already riced up in the bag, very, very easy and convenient. Trader Joe's has a whole bag for $2.49. If you want to go the extra step, you could buy a head of cauliflower and you could go ahead and process that in your blender. I just find that this is really easy, and this takes you a long ways. So I've actually used this probably 2 or 3 times already this week, and then I still have some left over. So cauliflower rice is going to be your main ingredient. Then you're going to need some pumpkin. I buy the pumpkin puree in a can. What I'm not going to use today, I'll just put in the container and I will use for something else during the week. But pumpkin puree is pretty easy to buy as well. And then I prefer the plant-based milk. So today I'm going to actually use a coconut milk, which I opened up the can already. So this is the rest of the coconut milk. You also have the option of almond milk. If you don't have any plant-based milk at home, it's okay. You can still use it with whatever milk that you have. I'm just choosing a plant-based option. And then your spices. So because I'm doing the pumpkin cauliflower oatmeal, I'm going to choose a pumpkin pie spice. You can also have cinnamon on hand. You can do a little bit of both. You can put some nutmeg and some ginger in there. I would experiment with your flavors and see what you like. If you don't like pumpkin pie spice and don't use it, use cinnamon instead, but it gives you kind of just an extra little flavor to it. And then the very last thing you're going to need, obviously, is your container. So this is a container that I'm going to use. These are very handy because you can just pull from the fridge. If you fill them already after you make the meals with your breakfasts in here, you can just pull these from the fridge. So whether you are eating at home with your family in the morning or whether you have to take and go to work, everything is ready to go, right? So just pull it and go. I also save my extra containers, so your pickle jars, your jam jars, whatever's left over, you can go ahead and use for your breakfast. You can also use Tupperware too, so don't make it difficult, right? So that's it. That's the ingredient. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it. So what I did ahead of time was I steamed the cauliflower already. So I did 1.5 cups of the cauliflower rice, and then I steamed it. And then I strained it in the water. So it just looks like cooked cauliflower, really. And your water that you're going to use when you steam it is going to be just enough to cover it. And you're going to cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on a medium high. You can boil it a little bit if you want, but because it's cut so small, it doesn't have to cook so long. Okay, so I've just strained it out, and then I'm just going to pour everything into the pot here, and I'm just going to mix everything in the pot. So it's really a one-pot meal as well. So you're not dirtying a lot of dishes. Okay, so you have the cauliflower in here. Now, I like to add the pumpkin because then that will determine how much of liquid I'm going to add. So I'm going to scoop, this is a 1/4 cup, so I'm going to scoop a 1/4 cup of pumpkin in, and I am going to mix it around. And you can gauge how you want. I'm actually going to add a little bit more, so it's going to be a 1/2 cup total that I am going to put in to the cauliflower. Okay, so you can see it is, there we go. All right, so you just mix it up until it's all mixed up in there. Now, I'm going to do the coconut milk today because the coconut milk just adds a little bit of almost creaminess to it and sweetness to it. Again, you can use whatever milk you have on hand. Not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to, first of all, this is reduced fat coconut milk. So I'm actually going to take out the chunks of cream to make it creamier. And I'm going to put that in first, and I'm just going to turn this on a medium to melt the cream, and we'll see what I need after that. So you can judge it. Some people like oatmeal that's really creamy. Some people like oatmeal that's not so creamy. So this is going to be your substitute for oatmeal. So just gauge it, see what you like with it. You know, if you like it creamier, that's fine too. Also, when you heat it up later during the week, you can add a little bit of milk to it, just to, if you find that it's not creamy enough. So you can also save that as well. So while this is melting, I'm then going to go ahead and put my spices in. I would say it's probably about a 1 teaspoon. I don't measure a lot with this, with the spices, because it's more kind of the flavor, you know, that you're going for. So if you want to put anywhere from 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of your spice in the pot, and then you're just going to mix it up and see, you know, taste the flavor, see what it is, and use your judgment. This is kind of a personal recipe, just to see, you know, what you like, and you can make it your own. This is, I'm giving you a base recipe, and then you can make it your own with what you want. So while this is creaming up, I'll put everything away. One other thing too that I will mention is, if you're not ready to go fully all cauliflower yet, and you want still to have some sustenance while you're getting used to that, go ahead and put in maybe 1/2 cup of oatmeal and then the rest cauliflower. You can certainly do that. You're still getting your added vegetables in there, and it's still going to benefit your body. So whatever works for you, there are options as well, so you can just decide what works for you. So that's it. I'm done. The cream has melted. I'm not actually going to add any of the actual coconut milk in here because the cream was enough for me. So again, just go on what your likes are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add it in my jar. So I am ready to go. Now, what you can also do, so this just pours right in here, and you can see it is a nice filled jar. And once this cools, then I can put the lid on it, and I'm ready to go. And you can even smell it. Now, you can go one step further, and you can slice some bananas on top of it. You can add some walnuts on top of it. If you choose to add maple syrup or brown sugar, you can certainly do that. Make it however you make your typical oatmeal during the week. So just, you know, don't be afraid to try the toppings on it. You can add the toppings on here so it's ready to go. If you want to take your banana with you and have that and chop that, you can go as far as you want with that meal prepping. It is entirely up to you how you want to do this. So this was, just to recap, this was 1.5 cups of cauliflower, and it was steamed. It was 1/2 cup of pumpkin. It was about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of coconut cream. You can substitute it any plant-based milk if you want, or any milk with that. And then about 1 teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice. made in probably about 5 to 7 minutes because I had to steam the cauliflower ahead of time. And you're done. So you have then 3 meals for the week: breakfast, warm comfort food, and you have at least, I would say, 2.5 servings of vegetables in here for the morning to start your day off. So you are way ahead of the game, and you are setting out on the right foot. So enjoy. Let me know how you have tweaked your recipe. If you, add anything else to it. If you want to, you could maybe do an applesauce instead of the pumpkin. If you don't like pumpkin, you could do an applesauce and do like an apple pie cauliflower recipe. That would be an option as well. So, wanted to share this with you. Easy meal prep, and enjoy.